Now, first story looks at a Survivor Series return leaks. Our top story today takes a look at a potential leaked return when it comes to Survivor Series tomorrow. Due to the show taking place in an outdoor stadium, fans have been able to take photos of the production inside, and last night it turned out that WWE were playing none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin's Tron in the stadium itself. Now, of course, this is not concrete. This could have been just a test for the graphics, or WWE could even just be trolling fans, knowing that they're taking videos and photos of the stadium. Now, it is worth noting that whenever the Royal Rumble takes place in an outdoor stadium, WWE likes to play around and are often seen playing Trons of wrestlers that aren't even in the Rumble itself. This occurred a few years ago with Victoria, and she never ended up in the Rumble match. Austin returning at Survivor Series isn't exactly out of the question though. Austin and WWE are on good terms, and he's even rumored for a WrestleMania match virtually every year without fail. This is the first Survivor Series stadium show, so WWE will definitely be wanting to go all out, and this could mean a big return in the form of one of the greatest of all time. Fans are now speculating that Austin is returning to WWE to set up an angle for WrestleMania 42. Earlier in the week, Paul Heyman implied that Survivor Series will have WrestleMania implications, and this was followed up on a report from Ibu of Self-Made, who stated that the WrestleMania main event will become apparent following the show. Will Austin return and confront one of the names in the men's War Games match? Well, nothing is off the table, and we know from recent Survivor Series shows to expect the unexpected. Whatever the case, this is incredibly exciting, and it certainly builds up hype and anticipation for Survivor Series tomorrow night. Next up, the WWE tease has been revealed. Now at last, the WWE teases have been revealed. Today, WWE social media accounts revealed that the teases were for WrestleMania 42, and the new advert features all the top women in WWE, including Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Io Sky. Interestingly, Liv Morgan, who was present at the filming of the commercial, isn't featured in the video, perhaps suggesting that she's not quite ready to return to the squared circle. Next up, Drew McIntyre has a big regret. Drew McIntyre has a big regret, and it's not signing with WWE. No, in fact, Drew McIntyre expressed disappointment that he'll never get to face John Cena one-on-one before Cena leaves wrestling for good. Now, with Cena's retirement only weeks away, McIntyre reflected on how much Cena has meant to the industry. McIntyre admits that it feels surreal that Cena's final ever match is so close, and admits some sadness that they never squared off inside the ring. It's insane to see that he's about to have his last couple of matches. I'm sad I didn't get one of them. But I'm glad I'm part of the roster. I'm glad I got to travel the world. I'm glad I got to learn from John Cena, because he is a legend, and he might just be the GOAT. Now, it seems that McIntyre had repeatedly called for a match in the past, but scheduling and/or creative decisions never aligned to make it happen. Next up, WWE Business Is Booming. Now, WWE has taken a huge risk with Survivor Series tomorrow night, as it will mark the first time ever that the show has taken place in a stadium. If the show was to sell around 20,000 tickets, it would easily be considered a failure by many, as WWE could have just had the show take place in a standard arena. But thankfully for WWE, they truly hit a home run here, as according to WrestleTix, the show is set to have over 40,000 fans in attendance. To make things even more impressive, the show sold over 6,000 tickets this week alone. Names such as John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and AJ Lee will all work the show, and are definitely a factor in the show performing so well. And it's rather insane that 40,000 fans are attending a show with just 4 matches. There's no denying that the War Games concept is a significant draw for WWE, and based on this year's attendance numbers, we can expect the concept to remain a yearly tradition for some time to come. Based on this success, they also may be looking at keeping the show inside a stadium moving forward, and due to the strong attendance numbers, the 2-night format is inevitably going to be discussed within the company. Should Survivor Series be 2 nights though? Next up is a WWE star bringing back a persona. Earlier this year, it appeared that WWE was setting up Drew McIntyre to be a Bloodline hunter. McIntyre set his sights on everyone from the Bloodline story arc, and there were rumors that this was going to culminate with a match versus Roman Reigns. In fact, early on in 2025, it was heavily rumored that McIntyre versus Reigns was going to be one of the top matches on the WrestleMania card, but that was before WWE pivoted and went with McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Nevertheless, McIntyre is competing inside War Games tomorrow against 3 members of the original Bloodline, and in a new social media promo, McIntyre took aim at his opponents in the match, specifically the Bloodline. I'm thankful for War Games on Saturday. I'm thankful I get to acknowledge Roman Reigns with my boot in his face. Thankful I get to beat on those stupid twins that have been like hyenas in my life for the past few years. And McIntyre finally seeking revenge on the Bloodline could be the story to reignite the Bloodline saga, but it does still appear for now that McIntyre is destined for another match versus WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Next up, a WWE AEW legend has been fooled by AI. AI is once again getting out of hand, as yesterday Dustin Rhodes aka Goldust was fooled by an AI social media post. Rhodes came across an AI post which featured his father Dusty Rhodes as a float in the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. Rhodes was evidently touched by this, but he failed to realize that it was in fact AI. Fans were quick to politely let Rhodes know, but as things stand, the post is still present on the X platform. Next up, a former champion returning. Saraya aka Paige recently appeared on the Unwrapped podcast, and the former WWE Divas champion finally confirmed that she wants to wrestle again. Saraya has been taking a leave of absence from the pro wrestling industry, but it appears that she's finally ready to jump back into the deep end. There have been rumors all year that Saraya is returning to WWE. Saraya herself has definitely fueled these rumors in numerous media interviews, but it remains unclear if WWE are really interested in bringing her back into the fold in any capacity. Saraya has a ton of experience, and with AJ Lee and Nikki Bella now back in WWE full-time, it would make sense to bring one of the top female stars of yesteryear back into the company. She even named her dream opponent as being Rhea Ripley, and she wants to face her in an Extreme Rules match. It has to be Rhea Ripley. When I was in WWE, we had just started getting the ball rolling with the Divas Revolution, so the matches like the Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble and stuff like that was only just starting to happen, so I didn't get the opportunity to do those, at least in WWE anyway. So I feel like it would be fitting for me and Rhea to do an Extreme Rules match or something like that, something edgy for us. But she almost quit. Speaking of Saraya, she addressed her now infamous debut promo in AEW. The promo wasn't exactly her finest work in wrestling, and the online criticism to the promo itself was rather substantial. Saraya has now revealed during her appearance on Unwrapped that the criticism was so severe that she almost quit the pro wrestling industry altogether. Saraya would then reveal that Jon Moxley helped her with her promo work and helped her get back on track. Next up, a Survivor Series event cancelled. Media and press junkets are a key part of the WWE Premium Live event, especially when it comes to a Big Four show such as Survivor Series. However, for the 2025 installment, the media junket was scrapped. It turns out that WWE didn't want talent flying in on Thanksgiving, and they wanted to give talent more flexibility when it comes to travel arrangements. There will not be a traditional media junket for Survivor Series. WWE doesn't do them for that show because it would require talent flying in on Thanksgiving, which nobody wants. Taping SmackDown gave a little more flexibility for travel. Now, this is great to hear, as WWE are once again putting talent welfare at the forefront. As mentioned in the report, they would tape SmackDown last week, meaning that most of the wrestlers were able to spend Thanksgiving with their loved ones. WWE are implementing a similar strategy next month, as they're delivering a double taping for Raw and SmackDown, and this will allow talent to spend Christmas at home. Next up, concern for JR. Jim Ross has had his fair share of health struggles, and now the Hall of Famer has revealed that he's dealing with mobility issues, so he's requiring the use of a cane or a walker. Speaking on the Grill and JR podcast, the iconic commentator stated, "I use a cane or a walker, and I have to have a little help when I'm flying, but I love going to those appearances and seeing the fans and hearing their stories. It's good medicine for me, quite frankly. So I don't know how many more of these I'll get to have. My getting around, my mobility has been hampered." Whilst it's not great to hear that JR is having mobility issues, it's welcome to discover that he's taking so much pride in meeting fans and making appearances at meet and greets across the world. Next up, a WWE commentator buries an AEW star. Adam Cole has had a rough time with injuries over the past few years, and WWE commentator Booker T believes the issues lie in Cole not hitting the gym. Speaking on his podcast, Booker stated that Cole needs denser bones, and this would start with him having more protein and hitting the gym. I mean, every time this guy gets back in the ring, bang, he gets injured, he gets hurt. And I made a comment that, maybe if Adam Cole, took a little bit of more protein, got in the gym, hit the gym a little bit, drank a little bit more milk, got a little bit more dense bone. These comments will no doubt cause a ton of controversy on social media, as it isn't the first time that Booker T has made similar comments in regards to Cole and his injuries. And finally, WWE didn't want Stephanie McMahon to bring up the past. Our final story today takes a look at how WWE talent are truly shocked when it comes to the podcast between AJ Lee and Stephanie McMahon. According to a new report from Fightful Select, talent within the company were surprised that the podcast occurred, as they firmly expected the issues between the two to remain buried in the past. A number of WWE talent were very surprised that the AJ Lee and Stephanie McMahon podcast ended up happening, because they expected that to remain buried in the past. Now, it was a major shock that the two women openly discussed their infamous rivalry from 2015. But in this new era, WWE and TKO seem to be keen on monetizing the discussion on real-life issues. The issues between Triple H and CM Punk were so openly discussed when Punk returned in 2023, which took a lot of fans by surprise, as this was also expected to be buried in the past. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.